Well, Rahul, you look at the manner in which things unfolded. On 18th of November, we had a local BJP leader named Shailendra Kumar Sharma, who lodges an FIR because they are certifying their products as halal. The police immediately files case charges. I mean, it goes on to section 153A, section 420, 481. They make a strong case, and immediately the Yogi government acts. It bans, that very day, it bans halal certificate products. Now, Rahul, the question over here is, there is no official certifying authority available in the country which can certify whether a product is halal or not. The case that has been registered in Lucknow states that companies are exploiting religious sentiments to boost their sales. Now, I want to ask a question to our audience. We know a very popular company, I won't say the name, people must have guessed it. All their products are in the name of Divya. All their products are in the name of religious coloration. They have all forms of religious color associated with their products, and they are marketed. They are also exploiting religious sentiments. Is the law going to be applied in a uniform manner to all these companies, or is it going to be selectively applied to certain religious companies, organizations? The question is not with respect to the manner in which the government, if the government is taking a due course via FSSAI, some norms have been put forth, some directives have been given,
right,
and there have been non-compliance, we stand by the government. But then this is the
Halal certification by private agencies is the first step towards a Sharia compliant India. There are two issues here, and I'd like to delve into them briefly because one is real and immediate, while the other is more philosophical and exposes the hypocrisy of this so-called secular country. Number one, why do we need multiple official agencies to certify food and other products? This is an open invitation to corruption and blackmail. In fact, the UP government order states, quote, the right to decide the quality of food items lies only and only with the authorities mentioned under the Food Safety and Standards Act 2006. Thus, halal certification of food products is a parallel system which creates confusion regarding the quality of food items and is completely against the basic intention of the said act and is not tenable under section 89 of the said act. Unquote. Now, why has this come about? As you correctly said, Rahul, because Muslim entities like the Halal India Private Limited, Jamaat-e-Ulema-in Halal Trust, Halal Council of India were exploiting religious sentiments to frankly boost sales by providing halal certificates to customers of a specific religion. Rahul, it is a fact. One cannot stop anyone in this country, a free country, from labeling a food Sharia compliant or GM compliant or any other compliant or not. But if at all any agency should certify food, halal or otherwise, it should only be a government agency, because this would immediately stop blackmail and extortion by these private halal certifying bodies. Besides, the money they make out of it is also being allegedly used for activities not commensurate with the sanctity and security of India. Number two, let me now come to the hypocrisy when it comes to halal, in particular meat products, because that is the majority of what halal certification is all about, 80 to 90%. Rahul, no sane person, least of all I, would accept animal cruelty. That said, this is the time to ask a few pertinent questions of selectivity and double standards when it comes to Hindu religious and ritualistic practices. In 2019, as you're aware, in fact, that was the discussion you're talking about, the Tripura High Court banned animal sacrifice, even though Hindus argued that this practice was a centuries-old tantric tradition of worshipping the 10 Mahavidyas. What the Hindus pleaded was also in keeping with the famous 1954 Shirur Mutt judgment that established the sanctity of an essential religious practice, but the judges would hear none of it. In 2014, the judges of Himachal Pradesh High Court had similarly banned the 600-year-old tradition of animal sacrifice during Kullu Dashera. The question to be asked, Rahul, is, why should only the religious Hindu be prevented from conducting animal sacrifice? If the state is against animal sacrifice, and laudably so, then shouldn't it be against all animal sacrifices conducted in the name of religion? But is that the case? Every single day, more than 1 billion Muslims eat meat after the religious ritual of halal has been performed. In fact, it is an essential requirement. The dhabiha, or the prescribed ritual slaughter, must be staged. The incision must be precise and deep that cuts the carotid artery and the trachea. The blood must be drained completely. This, while the animal is still alive. The head of the animal must be aligned to the Kaaba, and it is essential that Bismillah Rahmani Rahim be uttered. Furthermore, only a Muslim can perform the slaughter. So according to the honorable judges, this isn't a ritual. In fact, this ritualistic practice has been deemed so cruel in many European countries that it is mandatory to stun the animal before performing halal. But do our judges have the courage to shun selectivity when it comes to animal rights? The answer is no. So we are soon going to become a nation which is Sharia compliant, like it or not, Rahul. I'm just giving evidence to what exactly you said right now, Rahul, because a Jain
Yeah.
was arrested in his Jain bakery because all he said was that my religion does not allow for any interference in what my beliefs are. But the fact is that while a Jain can be arrested, are Muslims and Muslim restaurants arrested for insisting that only Muslims are allowed to perform halal? They are not. It is a fact. People will eat according to their religious practices.
Yeah.
You see it in Muslims, you see it in Sikhs, you see it in Jains. So nobody could legally, a state cannot legally stop somebody from labeling a food. And I, as a scientist would say, am saying that if tomorrow food is manufactured according to GMO, it should be labeled as such so that people know whether food is GMO or non-GMO. The question is, would I be an entity that labels something GMO? No, because tomorrow 10,000 others would come up, will start extortioning and blackmailing people. There should be one entity, as the UP government has stated, that should certify all food. This will prevent, and this is what my good friend Abbas was saying. Number two, and here again I come to the rampant and cruel hypocrisy of it, because Rahul, my Sikh brothers and sisters, they are forbidden to eat halal. They can only eat jhatka. But you go, I mean, Mr. Sikka, who is at the forefront of this movement, who's saying that Sikhs should not be given by way of something, halal. He went to Starbucks, and Starbucks does not openly say that it is actually giving only halal. So many people belonging to other faiths are being cheated because something is not clear whether they are being given halal or jhatka. Food certification should be done by one agency, and it should be absolutely clear who should have halal and who is not.
Yes.
We already have AIMIM certifying who is a Muslim and who is not. According to them, Ahmadiyyas are not Muslims.
There
They
you
are
go.
certifying agencies.
There you go.